Hey guys, this is Jonathan over at American Off-Road Customs. I just want to walk you through our latest build. This is a brand new JL Sahara. Came to us completely stock. So everything that you see on here, we've pretty much done. And this was a kind of a one-stop shop for this customer. They wanted all of it done at once. So there's a lot on this one, so just bear with me as we go through it. So right off the bat, we put this on a 2.5-inch Metal Cloak Game Changer suspension with box shocks. And then we coupled that with 35-inch Ridge Grappler tires and some Black Rhino wheels. And then to give it a little more off-road capability, we used Metal Cloak's Fender Gut Kit, which maintains the daytime running lights, turn signals, all that stuff, functionality that you need for the JLs. But you lose all this extra plastic bulk that takes away like 2 inches of tire clearance in here. And then we discovered actually in doing this, because this is a Sahara and not a Rubicon, these fenders are a lot lower than the Rubicon fenders when they come from the manufacturer. And Metal Cloak doesn't actually make a bracket that works with this. So we had to fabricate and modify these brackets to work on this application. So that's kind of one of the benefits that you get when you come to us, is that we make the parts fit, so that way they still look nice, they still work the way that they're intended to work. But a lot of times when you mix and match things, they don't always come out of the box and bolt right on. So that's one of the things that we make sure works for you. Then you have the fender liners on the inside, so that way you have all the, you get more ventilation, so the engine can get some more heat out of there, and it cleans up the inside of the wheel well really nicely, so you don't have like that open look, because the inside of the bottom part of the fender is that liner in there. So when you do this, you kind of have to do that. In the front, we took the factory bumper off, and this is a Addictive Desert Designs mid-width bumper. And so what's really nice about this is it kind of gives you a lot of stuff in a really small package. You get the ability to put a light bar down here. We put a Smitty built winch on here. We got the Factor 55 Fairlead hoop on the front of this, which is a lot safer than just those hooks. We put Vision X, basically like fog lights. So this one is a street legal fog light, and then this is more of like an off-road application. So we went with the yellow light, so it works a little bit better in dusty conditions. And then this actually has a backlight on it, so that when you're turning the Jeep on, this back part here kind of has a soft white glow that acts as a supplement to the daytime running lights on the headlights as well. So it's kind of a nice feature there. Turns out really, I think the overall look is pretty good. Then if you want to follow me around the side here, we also put Metal Cloak's flip step rock sliders on here to give the side of the Jeep protection against any sort of rocks. And what's neat about these steps is they can actually be mounted in multiple positions. So this is there in the down position, so it gives you, it doesn't stick out as far, so getting in and out of the Jeep can be a little bit easier if you're not trying to step on it. But it can be flipped over, and when it's in the flipped over position, it's actually flat right here, and you get a solid flat step to step on. Towards the back, we did the same thing. We removed the plastic fender liner in the back here, and then we have the Metal Cloak fender liner on the inside to clean up the wheel well there. Then we did add a Rugged Ridge little locking gas cap on here, so this is secure. And in the back, this is a Genrite aluminum rear bumper. And then we have the steel rash guards on the corners, and we added supplemental backup lights to get a little more lighting in the back at nighttime when you're backing up. As far as the spare, because we lose the license plate mounting position, we put that up here on the spare tire. This is one of Metal Cloak's kits that goes with their spare tire reinforcement bracket, which is what this is mounted to. So if you look, kind of this whole back piece has been reinforced so that you can carry a larger tire that's heavier than the factory. You can bounce around off-road, and you're not going to run a risk of bending this tailgate as easily as you would with just the factory bracket that's mounted on there. And then the camera you still maintain the rear camera functionality just underneath here, so the license plate doesn't affect that at all. So it's a nice, simple way to add a bigger tire on the back and not worry about damaging anything. And then some of the stuff that you can't really see is we also did skid plates. So one of the things to think about when you're doing all these kinds of modifications is it adds a lot of weight when you're replacing plastic components with steel components. So we went with the aluminum skid plates kit from Artec on the bottom of this, which has a really nice clean finish on the bottom. It gives you more ground clearance because you remove the factory gas tank skid and replace it with this one. Something else we put on this is a switch control on the inside, which I'll show you in a second, to control the extra lights. And we also put an up-down air kit with an ARB twin compressor so that they can air their tires up and down when they do go off-road. And you control that all from under here. So around this side is where we have the up-down air manifold. So this has the switch to turn the air compressor on and off. When you hook up your whips, which the front ones are connected here, rear ones are in the wells, and you can see your tire pressure gauge right here, and then adjust your air pressure as needed when you're going up or down, hence the name. On this side, the air compressor is mounted underneath the front passenger seat. So if you want to just kind of take a peek in there, you can see it. It's kind of hidden pretty well, so it's not really that intrusive as far as losing any sort of functional space. The seat still moves back and forth and all that stuff, so you don't lose anything there. And then if we run around to the driver's side, I'll show you that switch pod that controls all the lights. And what's nice with a setup like this is the switch controller has the ability to have up to 8 functions, and we're only using the 3 for the front lights. So he's got expandability there with any additional upgrades that they may want to do in the future. So let us know what you think. If this looks like something you want to do either total or in part, then make sure you contact us and we can definitely build a special Jeep or truck or SUV or whatever you got specifically for you.